broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Good morning, all you fierce and fabulous fans of America's Next Top Model. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's ANTM Cycle 22 Elimination Roundup. I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by the latest eliminated contestant from America's Next Top Model. The girl with the mullet. She is Miss Ava Capra. How are you, Ava?
Hi, I'm good, Tony. How are you?
Doing great. Now, I just mentioned your fashionable mullet, which I thought you totally rocked it. How did you feel about receiving the makeover and the mullet? Like, what were your initial thoughts about it?
Well, when I first got my hair chopped off into a mullet, I was, a bit shocked, but I did my best to take it as professional as I can because, I didn't want to disrespect the salon or anything, and I didn't want to cause all this drama. Eventually it did weigh down on my confidence, but all is good now. I cut off the rat tail, and now I have a blonde pixie.
So you didn't keep the mullet? I was hoping you kept it.
No, I didn't. I cut the back, and I wanted to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure as many ANTM fans, we were very shocked to see that you went home last night because just last week you received top photo.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. All within 7 days, I went from being on top of the world to falling down, and I was shocked myself too. The world right now, I'm getting all these tweets and messages. They're like, "Ava, no, come back, we love you." So yeah,
no, definitely
it's a surprise.
Definitely watching this season, I thought you were very strong, and I didn't imagine that you would be gone this early. What was going on, in your mind throughout this portion of the competition? Because there seemed to be a little frustration with all the drama that was happening in the house. Did you feel like that kind of had an effect on you as well? Because you seem to be, you're the flower girl, the flower power girl. So, you kind of surround yourself with positivity, and with all this negative energy coming, did that kind of weigh heavily on you?
Absolutely. Being in that environment, also when I haven't even slept out before, I never had that roommate life. It was very difficult for me, and there was fighting all the time, and I just couldn't stand to see it anymore. It was really just so stressful being in that environment. And I felt like I was on the edge all the time, and here I am, this flower child, and yet I'm feeling why am I here right now? I don't want to hear this,
Right.
People talking in my ear. It was crazy.
Now, the situation with Courtney coming back to you and telling you what Mikey and Devin were saying about your photo, did you like watching that and reliving that? Did you feel like she was being a friend towards you, or do you think that she was kind of stirring a pot that didn't need to be stirred?
Well, when I was living in that moment, I did feel like she was, there, and she was courting me at first, and she was just telling me something that, like the drama, what's going on in the house. But now looking back at it, I do realize, maybe she did stir the pot a little bit, just because I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I freaked out over nothing.
Yeah.
And, I feel like I freaked out
Yeah, because I looking at it, I think that Mikey and Devin, just like any competitors, were just kind of like, okay, like she got it this week, we need to take that down and move forward. And I don't think they were coming from a malicious place, but it turned so malicious, like once someone overheard it and went back to you to tell you what they, said. So it was definitely an intense scene, but there's been a lot of intense moments, even this past episode with Hadassah and Mame and their whole argument. And I could tell in this episode that you were just like, really, like something else we have to deal with. You just wanted to just remove yourself from the drama as quickly as possible. How was that moment? Was it as intense as we were seeing it, or was it not that big of a deal between them? Ava? Hello? Uh-oh. Did we... Oh, we might... Oh!
We might have lost her.
Uh-oh. Is this Ellen?
Yeah, this is Ellen.
Oh no, we might have lost her, but don't worry, you guys. Hopefully we will get her back on the line very shortly.
Okay, let me call her and then hang on.
No worries. Just let us know when you have her back on.
Okay, great.
So for those of you who are still watching our elimination roundup, there was a lot of things that happened in this week's episode. Lots of drama, lots of love still being had. Hadassah and Mame had a huge blow up, and it looks like Ava definitely tried to remove herself from that situation. Also, there are quite a few hookups going on in the house, and they were kind of tested today, especially when Mame and Mikey had a little love connection made by the very own Kelly when they were asked to kind of make out during their shoot. And smooth Justin, I believe his name is, totally got very upset and jealous. So I think that's the whole point. When you go into this competition, it's always important to stay focused on the competition and not let all this love get in the way. That's too much. I do have to say, though, I really did enjoy this challenge that they had, the possession challenge. Something that I definitely would have loved to have been a part of. It seemed very cool and unique and interesting, and I think they definitely had a tough time with this challenge, especially being on a harness and having to flip up and down and do all that. So we're gonna check the phones again to see if we have Ava back. Hopefully we do. That's technology for you. Ava, there you are.
Yeah.
How are you?
I got called.
Oh no, it's totally fine. I was just chatting away about the challenge and everything like that. Just, in here by myself, because that's what we do.
No, I'm back now.
Oh, good. So before we lost you, I mentioned Hadassah and Mame's big blow up that happened, and that seemed to be your point where you were like, oh my gosh, again with all of this drama. Was it just as intense as, because it seemed very intense. It seemed very like blown out of proportion, but the situation definitely felt intense. Was it just as intense as we saw it?
Absolutely, and it was kind of happening every day, even if it was just like little tips and stuff. It was really intense, and as you could see, I'm just there putting on my makeup, or I'm just I have my little kitty robe on, and I'm doing my best to ignore it. It was yeah, that was a really crazy fight. I just did my best to restrain and hold myself back.
Yeah. Well, I thought that this was going to be an opportunity for everyone to really chat about, the drama and everything that was happening in the house. And it looks like the attention just turned towards Hadassah and Mame to the point where it looks like you guys just left. Was there anything accomplished during that house meeting, or was it just Hadassah between Mame?
Yeah, nothing really got accomplished. I mean, that's why I asked. I was like, I didn't know this was like going to be a house meeting and stuff, because I mean, there really is kind of no point. Like, if they were fighting and they were going to, things were going to happen, they probably should have just duked it out on their own, at their own time and stuff. I didn't really want to be involved. And, of course, it cuts to the next scene where I'm not even in the shot because I just didn't want to deal with it. I went upstairs and, I was doodling or something. Like, I just didn't want to be involved,
Exactly. No, I mean, there's so much going on, like with the competition and wanting to win and the challenges that are coming up. The last thing that you want to do is deal with additional drama at the house. Like, you just kind of want to chill and relax and just think about the next day. But I guess A&TM wouldn't be as popular without the clashing of the titans, sort of say. So what did your family think about you being on the show? Because I know that you love your Italian family, and I'm sure they were very excited. But what was the reaction when you made it onto the show?
Oh my God, they were on top of the world, just like I was. We felt like it was such a blessing. I auditioned for Cycle 21.
Oh, okay.
That's really how bad I wanted it. Yeah, and they were always so supportive over this dream of mine. So yeah, they all hopped on board. Yeah. And then, when I came home and I had my model mullet, they were like, oh my God, like, they were pretty shocked. I came home with no hair, so it was definitely interesting. But yeah, I mean, they've been, like I said, so supportive and amazing along the way.
I suddenly imagine you like stepping off of the plane and them being excited and anxious and waiting for you, but them not recognizing you. Going like, where is she?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know if they recognized me. No. It was definitely different. But
now, finally, this was just your second time auditioning for the show. You only auditioned for Cycle 21, correct?
Yes.
What was it like to finally be a part of the show and meet Tyra and Miss J and Kelly and Yusai? Like, what was that like for you?
Oh my God, it was really one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my modeling career. Tyra Banks is such an inspiration, and so is Kelly and Miss J. And Yusai, just being a part of that. I think that's why, when I got my hair chopped off, I wasn't even thinking about anything or the consequences. I was just so happy to be a part of this whole experience because I wanted it so badly. So everything else, it didn't even matter,
Yeah. No, that's good. What was it? What were your feelings when you first saw Tyra? Because I just imagine her coming around the corner and there's just this oh my God, it's almost like as she walks in and lights go off and fireworks and balloons are released and doves. Like, what was the feeling like for you when you first saw her face to face?
Well, Tyra has been my mentor since I was a little girl. I remember her from Life Size.
Yes.
And just getting the chance to see my idol in person, I mean, sparks were flying. They really were. I was freaking out. And I also, I started crying tears of joy when she said, you don't have to be you're not too tall, you're not too short. You can still be beautiful and you can still own who you are and be confident, So as soon as she said that, I was just like, yes, that's what what I stand for. Yeah. That's why you're my inspiration, So it was amazing.
That is awesome. Now, going into this week's challenge, how did you feel about it? Because I know that you love your Jesus and you have made your faith very known throughout the show. And now you're coming up on this, being fashion possessed. What were your feelings toward it? Because, as you know, in previous cycles, we've had some contestants who, felt some sort of way when it comes to their religious beliefs and that certain challenges went against it. How did you feel about this particular challenge, especially with your faith and your religious background?
Well, I love horror movies. I love, all of that bloody, gory stuff. So coming into that competition, I wasn't really nervous. I was more excited because it was always a shoot that I wanted to do. Yeah. And I love contacts. I love, just making myself up, for a photo shoot. So I was really happy with it. As far as my religious beliefs go, I was totally fine with it. Like I said, I love horror movies, and I have God, so I felt like I felt fearless. I have no limits when it comes to photo shoots and things like that. Because
it looked like a really fun, like let loose, challenge. Did you feel like you did your best with it, or were you worried, or how were you feeling during that challenge? Because when your photo was presented, I thought you looked amazing, and I thought you did a great job. How did you feel about it? No problem. Did you feel like you could have done better? How were you feeling about the challenge afterwards?
Well, I do, of course, always feel like there's always room for improvement. I agree. I mean, I didn't think my photo was as bad as other, contestants.
Yeah.
And, but that was, it was a tough challenge. We were we were in midair, and we were kind of holding up our body weight.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine. I was just flipping and turning and everything. And it's definitely hard to still keep a scary, fierce photo, keep a scary, fierce face still. But, it was really nice. Tyra and Kelly turned it into a positive on panel. They said my face is stunning always, which that made me feel really good, So I wasn't as worried,
Yeah. Do you think that coming off of the mini challenge with the Simply Be with the winner from cycle 10, Whitney, and not doing your best during that shoot, do you think that weighed heavily on you going into the main challenge?
Yeah, it must have, kind of from there. Your challenges really do have a huge part of what happens, in the end, at the end of the day. And once you do your photo shoot, it all kind of boils down to everything all together. So, I was disappointed, but...
Is there anything that you would have done differently for the Simply Be shoot? Or did you feel like it's kind of, it is what it is?
Well, I was just thinking when I got this concept with Ashley, I didn't really know how I could have been fearless with the shopping bag. So I don't know.
I had that same thought. I was like, well, unless you're being fearless, as in you're putting everything on your credit card and you don't know how you're going to pay it later, that's being fearless. So if you're taking it from that point of view, then I totally get it, because I've been fearless myself in situations like that. But when I saw the shopping bags and everything, I was like, oh, how are they going to simply be fearless? I feel like you guys should have been rock climbing, or something, very, where you're going to have a lot of fear, something that you could have done that was a little more fearless than shopping or waving a taxi.
Right. So I was just kind of, at that moment, I was kind of out of place. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try my best to work these bags, and, but, oh well.
And I thought you were hailing a cab very fashionably. You were just like, taxi. I was like, oh, how Carrie Bradshaw of her.
Thank you, yes.
So, in the house, who were you the closest with? Because we were seeing the friendship between you and Courtney, but was there anyone in the house that we didn't get a chance to see your friendship with?
Yeah, I was close with Courtney, and at the end of the show, once it was over and stuff, I got close with Bayo as well. Just because we connected on that level, we understood what we went through and stuff. So and I talked to all the cast members now, like Mikey and I, we're really cool. Same with Devin and everything that has happened, on the show. It is all in the past now, and I consider them my little ANTM family, so
I feel like situations like this definitely bring people closer together, because you guys are the only people who understand what you're going through and what you've been through. So I feel like that can definitely bring people closer together.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to call us like, the beautiful misfits, because we're all different and unique, but we're so beautiful, you know what I mean? And we're able to be fierce and everything and get past anything, so.
Exactly.
The experience is awesome. Yeah.
Now, I saw that you just released a song that you wrote called Unstoppable. Tell us about that. Where did the inspiration come from with your song?
Right. So I came home, a couple of months back, and it was, late at night, and I love to songwrite. And I always like to write what, is on my heart and what I'm feeling. So I figured I'd just write a song to wrap up my whole experience being on ANTM.
Yeah.
And, so I started writing it, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Like, maybe I'll release it, once, once I get eliminated and stuff, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I recorded it a few days ago. It was simply on my little iPhone. I use Vocal Live. It's this app. And I put it up, and I mean, I'm getting a good response so far. The fans, they've been so supportive and amazing. I love my Avatics, my flower child.
Oh.
And so it's been really, really cool, and it's only up from here. Music is my love, so we'll see what happens.
That is amazing, and congratulations on that. And for those of you who are watching us live and will watch us in the future, we do have the link to her song available in our description box, so make sure you look in the description, click on it, and support it, and make sure you share it with your friends. It's a great song and very inspirational, so thank you for sharing your love of music with us.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely, thank you.
No problem. Now, post America's Next Top Model, fill us in on what you've been doing. Are you still modeling? We know that you're now venturing into music. You mentioned acting. What has life been like post America's Next Top Model for you?
Oh, it's been amazing. America's Next Top Model gives you such a huge platform. So I'm really using it to my advantage. I'm 5'5", but I'm getting a chance to walk in New York Fashion Week with
Congratulations! Yay!
Yes. So it is amazing. I'm still going to continue doing my modeling, and I was a professional model before the show. Doing print and everything and commercials. So I'm gonna just keep on going full force with it. And I'm also, working on my music.
Yes.
And I have a flower crown line coming out, and maybe even do some more reality shows. So I'm so excited for the future.
Oh, that is amazing. Well, of course, you have our full support from us here at AfterBuzz, from me, from all your fans, and we wish you nothing but the best, because I'm sure there is a bright flower future for you.
Thank you, Tony. Are you from LA? Are you here?
I do live in LA. I'm originally from South Carolina, but I do live in LA.
Oh, sweet. Well, if you ever want to have a guest judge, my sister, she guest judged for you, Chanel. So if you ever need one, let me know. I'd be happy to join you.
Wait, Chanel, for
AfterBuzz.
For AfterBuzz? Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Anytime.
She's a guest co-host. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, you'll have to come in.
Absolutely. Let me know.
Well, speaking of staying connected, before we head out, let people and fans know where they can stay connected with you via social media.
Yeah. Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram, Ava Capra. That's my name. And then I have a Snapchat, Ava Capra, AVACAPR. And Twitter, of course, at the Ava Capra. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and my YouTube, of course, Ava Capra.
Well, when in doubt, you guys just look her up, Ava Capra, and all of her information will appear. So make sure you guys like her, follow her, and support her. Ava, thank you so much for joining us today. And of course, I wish you nothing but success, because I'm sure you have such an amazing future ahead of you. It definitely doesn't stop here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tony. It was great talking with you.
Great talking to you, too. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Take care.
You too. God bless. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here at AfterBuzz TV for ANTM Cycle 22 Elimination Roundup. We will be back next Thursday to speak with our next eliminated contestant. I wonder who it could be. You just never know. You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website at loungingwithtony.com. We will see you next Thursday for another ANTM Cycle 22 Elimination Roundup.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.